What if I told you that boredom, a feeling we've come to dread and dodge at all costs, could be the very thing your brain is desperately craving? Picture this. You're sitting in a silent room with absolutely nothing to do. In front of you is a single red button. You know pressing it will shock you. And yet, many people in a real study chose the shock. Not once, repeatedly. Why? Because they couldn't bear a few minutes alone with their thoughts. That's not fiction, it's fact. And it says something deep and a little disturbing about who we've become. Let that sink in. Participants in a scientific study were given between 6 to 15 minutes of solitude. No phones, no music, no distractions, just their own thoughts. But here's the twist. 25% of women and a staggering 67% of men chose physical pain over stillness. These same people previously said they had paid to avoid being shocked. But left alone, boredom became unbearable. This isn't about a quirky experiment. This is about all of us, how far we go to escape stillness, silence, and reflection. In today's hyper-connected world, we're addicted to distraction. We scroll through Instagram while waiting in line, check emails at red lights, and scroll through Twitter while microwaving lunch. It's no surprise that 95% of Americans say they do leisure activities daily, but only 17% say they spend any time simply thinking. In other words, we've confused activity with meaning, and we've forgotten how to be alone with our thoughts. But boredom isn't the absence of options. It's the absence of interest. It's a strange cocktail of restlessness, lack of focus, and low energy. It doesn't mean there's nothing to do. It means nothing feels worth doing. And ironically, that state of mental emptiness might be the key to unlocking some of our most meaningful thoughts and actions. Think about this. Every time your mind starts to drift, every moment of quiet, where there's no stimulation pulling you in, you reach for your phone. But what if you didn't? What if you just sat there? What if, instead of filling every quiet moment, you allowed your mind to wander? Science says you'd become more creative. In one study, participants were asked to read the phone book, a painfully boring task, and then brainstorm creative uses for a plastic cup. The more bored they were, the more creative their answers. Yes, boredom can make you creative, but that's not all. Boredom is like a mental alarm clock. It tells you something in your life isn't quite right. It's your brain's way of nudging you, hey, something's off here. That discontent, that itch, it's not just restlessness. It's a wake-up call. How often do you find yourself pulling out your phone in a boring meeting, in class, or even in conversation? You're not alone. But in those very moments, the ones we rush to numb, we're missing a precious opportunity. Boredom might be annoying, but it can spark change. It's a push to take a new class, fix a broken relationship, or finally start that project you've been putting off. Without boredom, we might stay stuck in situations that feel safe, but ultimately leave us unfulfilled. Even more remarkably, boredom can lead to kindness. Sounds strange, doesn't it? But studies show that bored people are more likely to volunteer, give to charity, or donate blood. When we feel aimless, we often search for meaning. And one of the most powerful sources of meaning is helping others. When you're bored, you might start asking deeper questions. What am I doing with my time? With my life? That discomfort might push you to take action, not just for yourself, but for others. One participant in a study admitted donating blood just because he had time to kill. But in that seemingly meaningless space, he made a decision with lasting impact. This is the power of boredom. It creates the mental room we need to make purposeful choices. It's the blank page on which we can write new chapters of our lives. So the next time you feel the discomfort of boredom creeping in, don't reach for a screen. Don't run from it. Sit with it. Let it linger. Let your thoughts roam. That silence might hold the breakthrough you've been searching for. That restlessness might be your soul whispering, "There's more out there," and you won't hear it if you're constantly drowning in noise. And yes, ironically, one thing your brain doesn't need to waste time on is remembering dozens of complex passwords. That's where this video's sponsor, LastPass, can actually help free your mind. LastPass takes the hassle out of password management. It remembers everything so you don't have to. One master password is all it takes to access all your logins, securely and efficiently. You get password breach alerts, unlimited storage, and it syncs across all devices. You can even share passwords safely with people you trust. LastPass uses multi-factor authentication and works with Microsoft and YubiKey, so your accounts stay protected. It's like mental decluttering, making space for the thoughts that truly matter. So instead of wasting brain power remembering logins, use that space to daydream, to reflect, to be bored, and maybe discover something amazing within yourself. Because here's the truth. Every moment of boredom you embrace isn't a wasted moment. It's an invitation to rediscover yourself. Creativity, purpose, clarity, all hiding in the stillness you've been avoiding. So next time you're sitting at a red light, waiting in line, or staring out the window, resist the urge to scroll. Let your mind wander. Let boredom in.